I'm Little Ed.
I'm Dr. John.
And this is another episode of
Enough Already.
Today we're going to discuss all the lies and tales and
BS
at the DNC this week. And there's a lot of, we're not going to get to all of them, but we're going to get to quite a few.
There's too many to get to.
And then we're going to rant about something that everybody knows about, and
Yeah.
we'll get to it. All right.
Let's start the show, people.
Joe, the podcast flow, telling it right, and it all about you all. One brings the knowledge, the other keeps it straight, the change in the game, set new brand new reigns. In fact, dropping knowledge bombs on the mic. I'm Dr. John, keeps it straight, and making sure it's tight. Together they're a force, a podcast who also fly, bringing truth and wisdom, reaching for the sky.
Got a little buzz there.
That was the best part.
What's going on, Ed?
Well, the DNC had their dog and pony show this week.
Yeah, I noticed they had a wall around the whole DNC.
Oh, yeah.
Had to have an ID to get in. You had to have credentials. You had to have this.
Free abortions in the parking lot.
Yeah,
free
I mean,
vasectomies.
But it's crazy that they fenced it all in and didn't want people to come in. I seen where they were trying to get a little Latin American guy. He was trying to get in there. The guy was a little video he did.
Oh, really?
Trying to get him to go in. Say, hey, he wants to go in. They kept saying, oh, he has no ID. He can't get in. He goes, what do you mean he can't get in? He just come across the border.
He could go
can't
vote,
get in.
though.
And he took him to 3 or 4 sites to get parts to get in. They wouldn't allow a little guy in.
Was he a terrorist?
No, he was just a little Latin American guy.
Just
wanted to go in.
Typical voter in Illinois.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think the most, they didn't talk much about the economy or immigration or anything like that, but they sure did have a lot to say about President Trump.
He's the most popular guy there.
Yeah, I mean, 271 times they mentioned his name.
Yeah, go figure, huh?
Kababble herself mentioned him 83 times during her 38-minute ramble.
Why do they got to keep talking Trump?
Well, because he's going to be our next president,
No.
and they hate it.
That's not why.
Oh, why?
Because they didn't have anything good to say.
Right.
They didn't have any good talking points. So the only thing they could do was work on that hate that everybody has.
And not to mention that mostly
conjure the hate.
Right. Well, they got to keep the hate going. That's what the Democratic Party is all about.
That's what
they've
they do.
always been about. But they tried to say that they brought up Project 2025. They even had a big ass book for a prop.
Oh yeah, that Trump did that.
Yeah. He's got nothing to do with Project 2025. He's completely. Has absolutely.
They've proven he's got nothing to do with it.
He's never even read it. You know what I mean? I'll admit, there are some people that are former Trump cabinet members or whatnot that are part of the Project 2025.
I'm more worried about the World Economic Forum Project 2030.
Yeah, I hear you.
If you guys don't know what that is, look it up.
But you had half a dozen speakers try to hang that on him, and that's just all, make-believe, completely make-believe. And then you had the January 6th where you had I can't even say his name, Aquilino Ganell, I guess. He's some kind of captain.
Who's he?
He's a former captain of the Capitol Police, I guess, or something of that nature. But he's up there saying that 5 officers were killed on January 6th.
And that is not true, people.
That's a total lie.
Look it up, actually, and find out it is not true.
One person died that day. Her name was Ashley Babbitt. She was a 12-year Air Force veteran. She was shot unarmed.
By the Capitol Police.
By the Capitol Police, yeah. And Sergeant Byrd is his name. That's all I'll tell you. He's a Democratic hero. I'm surprised he wasn't speaking at the DNC.
I'm surprised they didn't have him up there in front of the podium.
Yeah,
I shot her.
It just went from one moronic thing to the next, and it all accumulated to
What about Michelle Obama and Oprah?
Right. Well, they got
income equality, and the people deserve this. And I'm thinking, damn, Oprah, you're worth $3 billion, and Michelle's worth $70 million.
Did you hear about Michelle?
Don't trust rich people, and watch out. My mama, all the people talk about income equality.
I heard she was voted as one of the most influential women of all time. And she was also voted the 3rd most influential man of all time.
Go guys! Guys are taking over,
Right, Big Mike's on. He's on the page.
We're winning the beauty pageants. We're winning all the Olympic sports.
Yeah, well,
go guys!
I know. So much for the Me Too movement. But and it goes on. When they had when Pete Biden was up there the first night, which is kind of screwy that the president of the United States spoke at 11:30 on the first night of the convention.
I'm surprised they keep him awake.
Well, they had him shot up on some cocaine,
Did you see what fell out of Nancy Pelosi's pants?
Uh-uh.
Oh, yeah, they got it on camera. She walked up to the podium. a little white baggie fell out of her pant leg, and she turned around and looked at it, and then she just kept on going. But what was in it? And nobody's saying who picked it up or what was in it or whatever, but it just slid right out of her pants, and she felt it when it came out. A little white bag, and it was on the stage behind her.
Damn.
Now, what was that?
A little bit of booger sugar.
I don't know. I mean, she's 84. I can't see Nancy Storm
Yeah, I don't know,
stuff
man.
or
Something's
whatever.
keeping these guys going. You know?
Yeah, well, there was probably some kind of something.
Yeah.
Probably.
Gotta be something. You got Biden up there preaching about no more political violence, and then in the next breath, he's telling them to kick Republican asses. Yeah, this guy is just—he's the president still, technically, of this country.
I love it because they said, "Oh, we're going to close the borders." They've been there 3.5 years. They haven't closed the border at all. But that's a problem. We got to close the borders. I'm thinking, then do it now.
Well, according to Cameltoe, she was told by her mother that don't let people tell you who you are, show them. So I don't know if she's going to build Golden Gate bridges across the border if she gets elected or what.
I
mean, it's just kind of ridiculous what's happened here.
And Hillary Clinton got up there and lied her ass off with a smile on her face, as she always does.
Well,
And I tried to watch some of that just so I could get some information to pick up on stuff, but it was turning my stomach because I'm like, you bunch of liars! You're telling everybody all this crap that you're going to do. You're not going to do none of it.
if their mouths are moving, John, they're lying. Well, you know what? Enough already.
Yeah, enough all of that already.
Let's talk. I don't even want to talk about Hillary Clinton. I could go on forever for Hillary Clinton. Hillary's one of them.
It's a woman with no morals.
She's still so
and
pissed
no
off
ethics.
that she lost that to Trump that she just can't let it go.
All she did was rip on Trump.
But did you see Bubba? I mean, he was up there he was supposed to do a 15-minute speech. He was up there
Bubba
for
who?
Clinton, Bill Clinton.
Oh.
They call him Bubba, right?
He looked younger. He
It's
was looking like hell. All of a sudden, he looks like he got rejuvenated.
all that stuff they get from those glands of them babies.
Adrenochrome.
Yeah.
He probably got like a double dose for
that.
that.
That's probably what they were all high on. That's probably why they were doing the abortions in the parking lot, so they could get these walking corpses up at 11 o'clock at night.
And then they brought old Tampon Tim out.
Oh, yeah? You mean the Richard Simmons guy?
Now, what I'm going to ask you people is there anybody out there that could tell me with any reason at all why in the world we need to put tampons in little boys' restrooms? I mean, any person with common sense. I mean, what could they possibly want, or how could that possibly help, or what could it possibly do?
That guy's a pervert, dude. You know what I noticed about the Tampon Tim? They never said he was the governor of Minnesota. In fact, they called him Coach.
Yeah, coach, because he was a football coach. They're trying to make him tough.
20-some years ago, he was a football coach.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even the head coach.
They probably lost every game.
Probably. I could see him coaching the cheerleaders. I don't know about football, but you know, they want to completely disassociate him with being the governor of Minnesota.
Well,
and
look
the
what
reason,
happened in Minneapolis when it
right.
burnt to the ground.
And that's why, you know, they don't want to hear about how him and his wife.
Look what he let happen to Minneapolis, people. Just look what he let happen. And you'll see. Is this the guy we want VP?
They burned it down, basically. They had days of rioting. And his wife's commented where she left the windows open so she could smell the rubber burning and the fires burning. You know, that's kind of, I don't know, that's just kind of sick. But what do you expect from people that were married in China and on the anniversary of the Tiananmen Square massacre? And
all they did was stand up there and lie about things, and they're going to fix all this stuff. And the stuff that's going on is going on right now. And they've been there 3.5 years and haven't touched it. Not a thing. They haven't done a thing to change any of that. And they're telling me they're going to, and they're standing up there saying how they're going to do this and that. And people are going, You know, they were adding crowd noise.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
To the speaker,
I would
speaker
say
system
a lot of people
in that
probably paid
auditorium
to
to make
be
it
there.
sound louder. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't hire people to go in there and cheer.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it one bit. I wouldn't doubt it one bit. They had one guy in there who was talking about he's in a poly relationship and his wife's dating a black guy, so that's how he figured out the plight of the black man. I'm like, oh my Lord, what is going on here? You know, at first I thought it was fake, but it's an actual person on the floor of the convention.
And the fact still remains that Kamala Harris couldn't even get one delegate, couldn't get hardly any percentage of the votes when she ran in the Democrat primary, and they're trying to make this woman out to be, you know, the best thing since sliced bread.
Well, keep in mind that she had 30 delegates that's actually had what they called a sit-in because they wanted this Palestinian speaker to speak.
Oh my God! Did you see the
So
Palestinian
so
protesters were
anti-Semitic.
there carrying on,
Well,
wearing their jihadis and carrying on? And
they're there in support of Camilla. You know what I mean? Well, they've
people
always
are
been
clueless.
They've always been the party of racism since the beginning of
You can't
this country.
support Hamas.
No, or any of them, Hezbollah, any of them.
I just got the signal.
All right, enough already.
Enough already, huh?
Let's do our rant.
How many minutes we doing again?
We're gonna do 3 minutes.
Well, it's not on horse semen, so we might go a little faster because that one was tough.
I probably won't shut up about this one because this one really pisses me off.
That I ran tonight.
Yep, we're gonna talk about
Just a
healthcare and pharmaceuticals and what
Cost.
they've done to this country.
yes.
And you know, I've
Let's go.
All right, fine. And I think you can't go to the doctor without getting out. You can go there with a toenail, infected toenail. You're going to walk out of there with 4 different prescriptions.
You know why?
They get paid to pay. They get paid to give
As
it to
I
you.
said, they should wear NASCAR coats, so patches on them with every pharmaceutical company that sponsors them, so we knew who they represent because they don't represent the patient. They're padding their pocket with pharmaceutical money.
Absolutely. I told my wife you can't go to the local doctor here without walking out on steroids. I don't care what you show.
You know what goes on in a doctor's office every day across the whole country? You know, Ed? At lunchtime,
What's that?
I've worked in doctor's offices. They walk in with a whole entourage of food and they lay out a spread for all the people in that doctor's office and feed them every day. Now,
It's
where's all that
insane.
money come from?
You know, 50 years ago.
From pharmaceutical companies.
Absolutely, that's how they get them, you know. But 50 years ago, you know, diabetes was hardly a thing. You know, I was listening to RFK today, and he was saying that it was rare for a doctor to even come across somebody that was diabetic, maybe once or twice in his whole career. Now he's got 4 or 5 people a week that he's seeing that are diabetic.
And
you know?
mental health. I'm sick of hearing about this mental health because your mental health, and they want to put everybody on these, what are those drugs called? Antidepressants and all this stuff because they got their feelings hurt. Because your feelings are hurt.
Here's some Prozac because you cried during.
Everybody, as soon as they get their feelings hurt, they got to get some medicine.
Right,
Well,
exactly.
you're gonna get your feelings hurt, people, and you just shake it off. You don't need to take medicine. Let's just roll here a minute.
My problem is, John, is these people are paid to give us medications. I'd say 80% of the world's pain medications are given right here in America. You know, so either we're a bunch of big pussies in this country, which we're not, or
Well, no, I think we are.
well, we're just rich. We're the richest
Turning
country.
into
Well, they're turning us into that, John. It's just the pharmaceutical companies, the insurance companies,
They're taking advantage of us, and they're addicting us,
right?
and they're doing everything they can to keep us buying their stuff.
Yep.
They don't want to cure us because if they cure us, they lose a customer.
Well, that's absolutely right.
So-
Well, that's enough of that rant.
Whatever you think about that, that's the rant.
Think about it when you go to the doctor. They're always going to try to put you on blood pressure medication, cholesterol medication. They're going to find a
And you
reason
can do
to
it
put
on
you
your
on
own.
a pill.
Enough already.
Just change your diet. Change your diet.
That's what we're gonna get back to.
All right, well, we can talk a little bit more about these morons at the National Convention there.
Morons.
Yeah,
Boy, we'll catch some
every
heat
one
for
of them.
that.
Every one of them are morons. You're morons. If you're a Democrat, you're a moron. That's the end of the story.
Well, I don't know if you're a moron, but you're
just not-
misguided.
Not a very smart person. You just can't be. For example,
Well-
the governor of Kentucky. People, if you're in Kentucky, how do you even vote in Andy Beshear? Okay, for real. I mean, the guy, he basically advocating for J.D. Vance's wife to be raped. I mean, that's just sickening.
It's sick.
It's absolutely disgusting. And people in Pennsylvania, you're no freaking better with the Shapiro guy who gets up there, wants to talk about the all fine people hoax that's been debunked a half a dozen times. Are Democrats so fucking stupid that they don't figure out that these guys are being told the same lies over and over and over again? Just get on your internet.
That's how you make a lie truth, Ed.
Well,
You keep telling it.
You can even go on Google and they will show you where these have been debunked. All of them. I mean, it's not that hard to find them. I'm not the smartest
People
guy in the
don't
world,
want to
and I
know the
can find
truth.
them.
They just want to be told. They watch the boob tube.
Right.
And that's what the truth is. And they keep hearing it over and over and over. Oh, that might got to be truth because I've heard it 100 times.
Right.
No,
Well,
I don't mean it's
The
truth.
TV told me, so it's got to be true. All I'm saying is people in Kentucky and Pennsylvania, you got to look at your down ballot. When you're voting Trump in there, look down there, and if you got a D behind the name, that's not the person you want in office. Same in Ohio here where we're from. Please Do not vote for Sherrod Brown. He's never done a thing for us.
Hey.
Not one time.
What about RFK?
Oh yeah, RFK. He
endorsing Trump.
He's a very smart guy. I like RFK. I mean, I don't agree with him on everything, but there's a lot of things that he says that make sense. And I actually
he's an old school Democrat.
Right.
From the 70s, late 70s, and that he's got that kind of philosophy. See, you people don't understand the difference between old school Democrats and this new Democrat Party.
They're not Democrats anymore. They're communists. They're straight up
Especially
communists.
you guys in unions just think, oh, the union always votes Democrat. You better open up your damn eyes and see what's going on because you're going to end up losing your job.
Exactly.
All these places closing down, the unemployment figures, 818,000. They boosted the job thing, 818,000 people.
Right. Almost a million jobs they claimed had happened that didn't
happen.
Right.
They lied about that.
And they're, what else have they?
They're trying to convince you they're back in the unions. They don't give two shits about the union. All you are is a vote. Open your eyes up and look what's going on.
They don't give two shits about Americans.
No.
They just absolutely, they want to replace us. They want to replace us with these immigrants that will, think they're coming to the land of milk and honey, folks. I mean,
I just wished you people would get away from the television just for a little bit and actually do some research and look at some of this stuff and dig into it and find out what's really going on. Because when you do, your eyes are going to go wide open. You're going to go, holy crap.
I know you guys remember the immigrants showing up with the Joe Biden shirts on. There's a reason for that. And he's like a god to them. He took them from a country where they ate dirt. Now they can get McDonald's. You know what I mean? And that's like heaven to those guys.
Which they don't realize is going to kill them.
And these people are going to come here and they're going to vote Democrat, right? And then they're going to have children that are also going to be Democratic voters because their parents are going to teach them to do that.
Well, that's what happened to Andre. They all voted Democrat.
Right.
He voted Democrat.
And it took him in his 30s before he
realized, man, something's going on here. I don't like it.
Right. Well, that's what they're trying to do with
this new Democrat Party is not like the old school Democrat Party where you thought it was for the working man and for the common people and that. It's not. It's not at all. It's communist. It's taking our rights away.
Right.
And this flat lying.
Well, check this out, John. When Bill Clinton ran for president, and Bill Clinton, arguably he did benefit from the internet boom and the .com boom, they like to call it. But his whole story was he was a small town kid that did good. He was growing up poor with a broken family, ended up going to law school, and ended up president of the United States. And everybody thought that was just the coolest stuff ever. But J.D. Vance is weird because
same thing.
And arguably he came from even a rougher background than Bubba did, but it's just so backwards now. The Democratic Party is not, I don't even want to call them Democrats anymore.
See, the difference is Bill had Hillary.
Right.
And J.D. don't have no Hillary.
Right.
He's got a good, honest woman that's got morals and
he
values.
also doesn't have
He don't have the devil for a wife.
Right. He doesn't. he doesn't have a bunch of disclosures that he's had to pay off, like the Paula Jones type situation like Bubba had.
And you know what? Whatever. He did his thing. I don't really care about that.
Well, I'm just saying, if you look at...
As far as I'm concerned, all them women are gold diggers, and they think they're going to get some money, and they're going to put some publicity on, and they've got a politician, and they're going to dig up some shit, and they're going to get rich.
Well, Bill Clinton ran on to his presidency. They would never do that now because he ran on welfare reform, building the military, that kind of stuff. There's no way that the Democratic Party would support that.
Not anything that Bill Clinton did.
No, not at all.
And actually... he was a Democrat. He did some really screwed up things, but he actually did do some good things.
Yeah, he wasn't a bad president. He really wasn't.
He did actually do some things for the people, but
Obama
he did some
sucked.
screwed up things too.
Obama was a horrible president.
He just lied.
Obama
was a plant.
Right. Not nearly as big. Well, you figure he was a state senator for a couple of years, and he was in the state house, and then he went to in the Senate for like 8 minutes.
Who knows if he really won that election, or if they didn't do the same crap that they did before.
Yeah, who knows how long they've been doing this?
Oh, I think they've been doing it a long time.
I know we need to get back to paper ballots, one-day voting. With exceptions, you're going to have your people out
Speaking
of
of
the country
voting,
and stuff like that.
don't forget about our Supreme Court justices in Ohio.
Judge Shanahan?
Hawkins and Dieters, DHS.
Right.
Just vote DHS Supreme Court Justice. Don't forget about them.
You can't go wrong with that. And Bernie Moreno over Sherrod Brown all day, every day. Vote early too. Don't wait till
we're
election
voting
day.
early. I think it's a plan. See, because the Democrats invented this early voting thing.
Yeah.
So let's take this early voting thing and use it against them, and let's all of us go in an early vote, because they're
Right.
going to try and disrupt the election.
We'll bank some votes.
Make the
before.
lines long, make disruptions in the machines. But if we go in an early vote, hey, we're doing the same thing they're doing. We're using their game plan against them.
Right.
And that's what we got to do.
We've also been doing a lot of legal ballot harvesting, which is something that the Democrats like to do. And we're not even doing it from graveyards. We're actually doing it the legal way.
People are alive.
But you have some things that's happened between last election and this election that should help Republicans in a lot of ways, and hopefully, with RFK getting out of the race and supporting Trump, that's going to give
But you
Trump.
union guys, you got to open your eyes up and start digging into the information and looking. I love the union guys. I
They're
love
paid.
the unions. I've never been a union. I've been a self-employed contractor, okay? But you union guys, I love you. And you've helped increase the wage. You've done great things. But open your eyes up to what's really going
It's
on.
your union leadership.
Do
John.
some research.
The regular union guy that
And,
pays his
and
dues.
your leadership screwing you.
Yeah, the guys that pay their dues and go to work every day, they're
The hard-working guys I'm
They're all
talking
voting
to.
for Trump. They're all going to be voting for Trump. It's the leadership that's backing the
That's
Democrats.
because they're getting paid
Exactly.
to direct you guys the way they want, because they're putting money in their pocket. If you follow the money on anything, you'll find out where the scoundrel is.
And there's a lot of corruption. I mean, I'm not saying. Listen, Bongino says it best. He says the Republicans are not the answers to all your problems.
And they're not.
But the Democrats are definitely the cause of all your problems.
That is correct.
And it's becoming more and more evident every day of our lives as we look what's going on, and just the constant lying and back. They're just a bunch of bad people leading the Democratic Party. right now.
Liars.
And we
They're
need
just
to
liars.
we need to go out and vote them all out and get back to American values
And we got to stay on this, because it's going to take more than just one election. We got to stay on this for a while.
And you're going to hear us say, we're going to talk about the election till the election, and we're going to be telling you to vote. October 9th, I believe, in Ohio is when we can start early voting.
Yes, in Ohio.
So, and some of them are in
Your
September.
state may be different.
Right.
Check it out. But early vote this year.
Yeah, everybody that's voting for Trump, get out there early. Don't wait for election day to do it. I know we all
That's
like
how we always
tradition.
done it, but let's do early.
We all like traditions, but the Democrats have found a way to beat us on our traditional voting days. So we need to play their game until we can set the game right. Simple as that.
Well, we think it's a wrap.
Yeah, I think I'm hungry. I'm gonna go get me
I don't
some
got any
food.
snacks.
Nah, I'm gonna go out to eat somewhere. I'm gonna make my wife pay for it.
There you go. That's diversity, equity, and inclusion
That's
by letting
right.
her pay for it. It's her turn.
That's right. That's right.
Anyhow, I'm Dr. John.
And I'm at going to McDonald's.
And all out you fall. Lord brings the knowledge, the knowledge keeps it straight. The change in the game, set the brand new reigns.
See you next week.
See you next week.
Bombs on the mic, Dr. John keeps it straight and making sure it's tight. Together they're a force, the podcast that won't so fly. Bringing truth and wisdom, reaching for the sky.
Ed and Dr. John at gmail.com.